Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and former federal prosecutor Mandy Medrano, along with former DEA acting administrator Derek Maltz. Thank you both for coming on. Derek, to you first. I want to play some sound. This is the Vice President, J.D. Vance, on the legal authority of taking out that alleged Venezuelan drug boat.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be an after report. I mean, the legal authority, and I want to talk about these kids, is that there are people who are bringing literal terrorists who are bringing deadly drugs into our country, and the President of the United States ran on a promise of stopping this poison from coming into our country.
What do you think of the strike?
Number one, I applaud the efforts of the Trump administration. It's about damn time that we held these terrorists accountable. Trey, 7 years ago, I was on this show with Shannon Bream talking about Hezbollah's movement into the Western Hemisphere, working with the drug cartels. Well, for the last 20 years, Venezuela and the corrupt government officials have built up a giant empire. They're the command and control of cocaine trafficking around the world, not just to the U.S., but all over the world. They are poisoning our country. They've been operating with impunity. So you know what, Trace? You need the tools of national power, and I applaud DOD, and a precision strike is what's needed to get their attention. So, Mr. Maduro, the game has changed.
Yep, and a lot of people are echoing that. Meantime, we have Pete Hegseth on sending the cartels a message. Listen.
Last year, under the Biden administration, all 4 years, 100,000 Americans died from drug-related from drugs, from the use of drugs, many of which poured in from Central and South America through our southwest border. Now, we're sealing the border, but President Trump is willing to go on offense in ways that others have not been.
Talks about a bold message. You got to say, Manny, that is a bold message. I mean, we played the video again and again. That is something we have not seen in this country.
The effort, Trace, is extraordinary and long overdue, and let me tell you why. Because I'm one of your few guests who have been on the front lines. I'm a former federal narcotics prosecutor in L.A., went after the largest drug cartels in the world, including the Mexican cartel that kidnapped, tortured, and murdered American DEA agent Enrique Camarena.
Yeah.
And what's going on right now is so necessary because I'm telling you what's not working. Interdiction.
Yeah.
That's part of the cost of doing business for these drug cartels. They factor in that percentage loss. They don't give a damn about that. But when you escalate in this fashion, the powerful deterrent message that is sent out is unequivocal. You bring this poison to our country, you're going to face the music. We will take you out.
Yeah. My first market, El Centro. Kiki Camarena was my first big story. It was amazing. It's still one of those things that reverberates in this country to this day.
Well, and on that point, I'm sorry, Trace, but you'll notice since we did that case, no other agent has had a hair on his head harmed because of the deterrent value.
Bold statements. Houston Director of Customs and Border Protection on today's massive methamphetamine bust. And I'll get your response, Derek.
We are sending a clear message. DHS will not tolerate anyone or anything that wants to harm our community. Let me be clear. This seizure is not just a victory for law enforcement. It's a victory for every family and every individual who's been impacted by the devastation of drug addiction and cartel violence.
And Derek, this is costing the cartels billions of dollars.
Right. So they made billions of dollars just with the human smuggling the last 4 years during the last administration. But, you know, I'm very familiar with Operation Hydra in Houston, Homeland Security investigations, working with CBP, FBI, DEA. They've done a great job looking at the shipments of chemicals coming from China into Mexico to make these poisonous substances. Now, Trace, just to make it clear, this is what's the end result. These babies are dead. These are innocent babies, less than 1 year old. So America needs to understand that we can't keep doing business the same old way. It's not working. We can't just, you know, use law enforcement resources. And by the way, Trace, my last comment is we must have mandatory education throughout America on this dangerous crisis.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio on the cartels using unconventional weapons. Listen.
We are increasingly concerned that these cartels are now in possession not just of landmines and grenade. We're now seeing the deployment of drone technology by narco-terrorist groups operating out of Venezuelan territory in many cases into Colombia. Imagine drones in the hands of these narco cartels threatening nation states, threatening security forces.
Could get ugly, Manny. I've got 20 seconds for you.
Well, it's very ugly. Now, we have to understand, take Mexico, for example, Trace. The military there, outgunned, outfunded. they don't stand a chance because the very cartels they're going after have better equipment to deal with the military. And in fact, they'll take down the big drug cartel leader in Mexico, and within 48 hours he's freed because all the cartel bodyguards come in to save the guy. So something has to be done. I'm a big fan of the military effort by President Trump.
I think it's being done. Manny, Derek, gentlemen, thank you both.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.